Most people collapse under pressure, not because they're weak, but because they were never trained to respond with power. Some stand tall in the storm, others break. The difference? One mastered their emotions, the other let fear take the lead. Strength isn't born, it's built. Built in silence, built in struggle, built through discipline when chaos surrounds you. If you learn to lead your mind when everything else falls apart, no situation will ever control your spirit again. In a few moments, you will learn how to stay strong in any situation, no matter the pressure, pain, or unpredictability. Strength is not something you are born with, it is something you build. Just as the blacksmith forges iron through fire, your spirit is forged through adversity. Too often, we wait for life to be easy before we decide to be strong. But strength is a choice, a decision to stand firm when everything around you crumbles. When you begin to understand that every challenge is a stepping stone, you unlock a power that cannot be shaken. Consider a towering oak tree. It stands tall and unmoved by the fiercest winds, not because the wind is gentle, but because its roots run deep. Your strength is the same. It is not about avoiding the storm. It is about standing tall and unmoved despite it. To stay strong in any situation, you must plant the roots of resilience deep within your mind and soul. How do you do this? By making a decision right now that you will not be defeated by temporary setbacks. The world will try to test you, break you, and push you to your limits. But remember this, you are stronger than the circumstances that surround you. With each struggle, you grow. With each obstacle, you learn. And with each failure, you become more resilient. The key to inner strength is to recognize adversity as an all, not an enemy. Embrace the discomfort, welcome the challenge, let it mold you into something greater. For when you come out on the other side, you will not just be stronger, you will be unbreakable. And that, my friend, is how true strength is built. When you know your purpose, no obstacle can break you. Purpose is the unyielding force that roots you firmly against the harshest winds of adversity. It is the compass that steers you forward when the path is obscured by uncertainty. Without a clear purpose, even the smallest challenge can feel like an insurmountable mountain. But with purpose, even the mightiest obstacles become mere stepping stones, paving your way to greatness. Picture a ship caught in the midst of a violent storm. Waves crash against its hull, winds howl with merciless fury, yet it continues its journey, driven not by the conditions it faces, but by the compass it follows. That compass is its purpose. No matter how fierce the storm, it never loses its direction. In life, your purpose is that compass. When you are clear about what you are pursuing, distractions lose their grip, and adversity is seen not as a barrier, but as a wave to ride upon. To uncover your purpose, ask yourself, what ignites your soul? What would you strive for, even if there were no promises of reward? The answer to that question holds the key to an inner strength that few ever discover. When you know your purpose, you possess the resilience to endure, the focus to overcome, and the drive to press forward even when all seems lost. Purpose does more than just provide direction. It gives meaning to struggle. It transforms pain into growth, setbacks into lessons, and obstacles into opportunities. When you are driven by a vision of what could be, surrender is no longer an option. The discomfort of the present moment pales in comparison to the power of your vision. Consider history's greatest achievers. Edison's countless experiments with the light bulb, Lincoln's steadfast commitment to unity, and Gandhi's peaceful resistance all were anchored in a purpose so profound that no setback could deter them. They faced failures, ridicule, and resistance, yet they moved forward, pulled by their purpose, guided by their inner compass. When you discover your purpose, you unlock a reservoir of strength that shields you from fear. Failure becomes a stepping stone, not a dead end. Challenges become tests of resolve, not reasons to quit. The moment you grasp your purpose, you stop seeking shortcuts and start embracing the journey, no matter how turbulent it may become. So, find your purpose and hold it close. Let it be your guiding light, your anchor in the storm, your reason to keep moving forward. Because when you know your purpose, no obstacle, not even the fiercest storm, can break you. Most people run from adversity, but the strong embrace it. For within every challenge lies a hidden gem, and within every struggle, a door to growth. The difference between those who rise and those who fall is not found in the presence or absence of adversity. It is revealed in how they face it. True strength is not measured by the ability to avoid trials, but by the willingness to confront them head on. Adversity is a teacher, not a tormentor. It sharpens the mind, strengthens the spirit, and exposes the cracks where growth is most needed. Think of the diamond. Born under immense pressure, its brilliance is only realized after it is cut and polished. Your spirit is forged in much the same way. Without resistance, there is no progress. Without trials, there is no triumph. When you learn to welcome adversity, you transform it into a tool for growth. No longer does it appear as a barrier, instead it becomes a stepping stone. The moment you shift your mindset from "why me" to "what can I learn from this?" you unlock the hidden strength within you. Every setback becomes a lesson, every challenge a teacher. Adversity stops being something you fear and becomes something you master. Think of the towering oak tree that weathers storms year after year. The wind may howl, the rain may beat upon its branches, but it does not fall. Instead, it roots itself deeper, its trunk growing stronger with each passing season. Adversity is the storm that forces your roots to go deeper. It is the fire that tempers your spirit, the weight that strengthens your resolve. Greatness is never born in comfort. It is carved out of challenge. History is filled with stories of those who thrived not because life was easy, but because they embraced the struggle. Abraham Lincoln endured countless political defeats before leading a nation. Helen Keller overcame the silent darkness of blindness and deafness to inspire millions. Winston Churchill stood unyielding against the tide of war, forging strength from struggle. These figures did not run from adversity, they mastered it. Their legacy is a testament to the power of embracing the storm. When you learn to see adversity as an ally, it no longer holds you back, it propels you forward. You begin to welcome the struggle because you know it sharpens your character and fortifies your spirit. Embrace adversity with open arms, for it is the crucible through which greatness is born. In time, you will come to realize that the challenges you once feared are the very tools that shaped you into something stronger than you ever imagined. True strength begins in the mind. Before you can conquer the challenges of the world, you must first conquer the battles within. Your thoughts are the architects of your destiny. They can either be your greatest allies or your most destructive enemies. The battlefield of life is first fought within your mind, for every great achievement begins with a single thought. The disciplined mind is unshakable. It does not waver in the face of doubt. It does not falter under pressure. It remains focused, resilient, and unwavering. Just as a warrior sharpens his blade, you must sharpen your mind. This is not a one-time act. It is a daily practice. As the body is strengthened through physical exercise, the mind is fortified through mental discipline. This is the foundation upon which all success is built. Consider the great minds of history. Marcus Aurelius, who ruled with calm amidst chaos. Thomas Edison, who saw opportunity in every failure. Helen Keller, who overcame what seemed impossible. They did not achieve greatness by chance. They mastered their minds. They refused to entertain thoughts of weakness or surrender. They embraced the struggle as part of their growth, using each challenge to sharpen their resolve. Learn to master your mind, and you will master your life. This begins with the rejection of weakness. Cast out thoughts of fear and self-doubt. Replace them with thoughts of conviction and certainty. When you control your thoughts, you control your actions. And when you control your actions, you command your destiny. The mind is a garden. If you plant seeds of fear and doubt, weeds of despair will grow. But if you plant seeds of strength and purpose, you will harvest success and fulfillment. Guard your thoughts with vigilance. Let nothing enter your mind that does not serve your purpose. To achieve mastery over your mind, you must train it daily. Start with small victories. Control your emotions. Resist distractions, and focus your energy on your goals. Over time, these small victories will compound, and you will find that your mind is no longer your adversary. It is your greatest ally. When you learn to master your thoughts, adversity loses its power over you. Doubt becomes a mere whisper instead of a thunderous roar. Fear becomes a fleeting shadow rather than an insurmountable wall. The world may try to shake you, but the disciplined mind is unyielding. It stands firm, rooted in purpose and fortified by unshakable belief. True strength begins and ends in the mind. It is not determined by external circumstances, but by the quiet confidence that no matter what comes, you are prepared to face it. Master your mind, and you will master your fate. Resilience is not a gift, it is a practice. It is built through action, through stepping forward even when the path is unclear, even when fear is present. Resilience is the decision to keep going no matter how many times you fall. It is the quiet strength that whispers, "Try again," even when the world has told you to quit. Think of the blacksmith hammering iron into shape. Each strike makes the metal stronger, more defined, more resilient. Life will strike you. There is no doubt about that. But each blow is an opportunity to forge yourself stronger, more determined, and more capable. Adversity is not your enemy, it is your anvil. The flames of challenge are not to be feared. They are what temper your spirit. To build resilience, you must act even when it is difficult. Take the first step, even when fear whispers that you cannot. Rise each time you fall. Refuse to stay down. For resilience is not about never falling, it is about always getting back up. Each failure is a lesson. Each setback is a test. The more you rise, the stronger you become. Resilience is not something you are born with. It is something you cultivate. It is a choice you make every single day. When life challenges you, you have two options: to crumble or to rise. The strong rise, not because they are unafraid, but because they refuse to be defeated. They understand that every setback is a stepping stone, every failure is a lesson, and every struggle is a forge for greatness. To build resilience, you must condition your mind to see obstacles not as barriers, but as opportunities. You must learn to welcome challenges as a chance to grow stronger, to become wiser, and to prepare for what lies ahead. Embrace the struggle, for it is the price of growth. Just as the blacksmith tempers iron, life tempers your spirit with every blow. Rise after every fall. Stand tall in the face of adversity. Be unyielding in your pursuit of growth. For resilience is not merely surviving hardship, it is thriving in spite of it. It is the quiet assurance that no matter how many times you are knocked down, you will rise stronger, more determined, and more resolute than before. Resilience is not a gift, it is a practice. Cultivate it daily, and you will find that no challenge, no setback, and no failure can break the spirit of one who has learned to rise after every fall. Strength is not only measured by how fast you move, but how patiently you endure. Too often we rush through life, desperate for quick results, only to abandon our dreams when progress seems slow. But real strength is found in patience, the ability to persist even when the path is long and the finish line is nowhere in sight. Consider the farmer who plants his seeds and waits for the harvest. He cannot rush the seasons. He cannot force the rain. All he can do is tend to his work with faith and diligence, knowing that in time the fruits of his labor will reveal themselves. Patience is the silent strength that bridges the gap between where you are and where you want to be. To master patience, you must understand that delay is not denial. The world rewards those who endure, who wait with purpose and work with conviction. Embrace patience, and you will discover that time is not your enemy, but your greatest ally. The towering oak does not grow mighty overnight. It stands against the wind, bends with the storm, and stretches towards the sun with quiet determination. It endures seasons of drought and storms of fury, yet it remains, not because it is the fastest, but because it is the most enduring. So too must you endure. In life, your strength is not defined by how swiftly you achieve your goals, but by how resiliently you withstand the trials along the way. Patience is not passive, it is active endurance. It is choosing to stay on the path even when the journey seems endless. It is believing in the unseen, trusting that your efforts, though unseen today, will yield results in due time. The world may celebrate speed, but it is patience that conquers. It is patience that builds empires, that forges legacies, that turns dreams into reality. A rushing river may carve paths through rock, but it is the slow, patient flow that carves canyons. It is time combined with persistence that creates the masterpiece. Understand that every step you take, every seed you plant, is part of the process. Do not rush the seasons of your life. Learn to wait with purpose, to endure with conviction. For when you master patience, you master strength, not the kind that breaks through walls, but the kind that withstands them. Hold steadfast. Trust the process. Know that real strength is not measured by how fast you move, but by how patiently you endure. When others falter, you will remain. When others surrender, you will persist. And in the end, you will see the fruits of your patience bloom in ways you never imagined. Without belief in yourself, strength cannot exist. Self-belief is the foundation upon which resilience is built. It is the inner voice that whispers, "Keep moving forward," even when the world screams, "Give up." Without belief in yourself, every obstacle appears insurmountable, and every setback becomes a reason to abandon your path. True strength is born from the unshakable conviction that you are capable of achieving greatness, no matter the odds stacked against you. Consider the Wright brothers, two visionaries who dared to believe in the possibility of flight long before the world accepted it. Their journey was marked by failures, crashes, and public doubt. Yet, they pressed on, driven by an inner certainty that transcended the limitations of the time. To them, belief was not just an idea. It was a relentless commitment to their vision. It was this unyielding faith that lifted them from the ground when logic and reason insisted that man was never meant to fly. To cultivate self-belief, you must speak life into your dreams every single day. Negative thoughts are the seeds of doubt, and if left unchecked, they will choke the roots of your ambitions. Reject the whispers of failure, silence the voices that say you cannot. Replace them with thoughts of possibility and triumph. When you believe in yourself, you unlock the strength to overcome any obstacle. Belief transforms adversity into opportunity, turning setbacks into stepping stones. Self-belief is not arrogance. It is certainty in your own potential. It is the unbreakable understanding that within you lies the power to change your reality. It is rising every morning with the knowledge that your dreams are not just fantasies, but glimpses of your destiny. The world may not see your vision, but that is because it is yours to manifest. True strength is found in the quiet assurance that you are enough, that you have within you everything needed to succeed. To master self-belief, you must build a wall against dulled. That wall is built brick by brick with every small victory, every disciplined action, and every refusal to quit. Guard your mind against negativity. Surround yourself with those who inspire you, who see your potential even when you falter. Speak life into your dreams daily. Nurture them. Protect them from the poison of disbelief and watch them grow strong. When you believe in yourself, you set a standard. Others begin to see you through the lens of your conviction. Your strength inspires faith in those around you. Strength is not born from the opinions of others, but from the depths of your own belief. Build that foundation unbreakable, and no storm will be able to shake it. Believe, endure, triumph. This is the path to unyielding strength. Consistency is the unspoken secret of the strong. True strength is not in one grand gesture, but in the daily commitment to show up, even when motivation fades. Most people fail not because they lack ability, but because they lack consistency. They start with enthusiasm, but abandon their goals at the first sign of resistance. Strength is built in the moments when you press forward, even when the excitement is gone, even when the journey becomes difficult. Think of the river that carves through stone, not by force, but by constant pressure, day after day. The river does not rush, it does not force its way. It simply flows, steadily and consistently, wearing down even the hardest of rocks. So too must you approach your goals, not with frantic bursts of energy, but with the quiet power of persistence. Your actions, repeated consistently, have the power to transform your life. Small efforts, compounded over time, lead to monumental results. To master consistency, you must prioritize discipline over motivation. Motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes like the wind. But discipline remains. It is the unyielding force that drives you to act even when you don't feel like it. Discipline is waking up early when you would rather sleep in. Discipline, it is choosing to work on your dreams when distractions call your name. Discipline is the engine that powers consistency. Success is rarely the result of a single moment. It is the accumulation of countless small victories. It is built on the back of routine, on the strength of habits repeated over time. Those who master consistency understand that greatness is not achieved in a day. It is earned through years of steady effort. They know that every small step forward matters, that each day of showing up brings them closer to their dreams. Look back at history and you will find that the most successful individuals were not necessarily the most talented, but they were the most consistent. To truly embrace consistency, you must commit to your purpose. Let your purpose be your guide. When motivation fades, purpose will keep you moving. When distractions arise, purpose will help you stay focused. Anchor your actions in your purpose, and consistency will follow naturally. Remember, consistency is the silent architect of strength. It builds empires, forges character, and shapes destinies. When you choose to show up every day, you are laying the foundation for greatness. The world may celebrate the grand gestures, but it is the quiet, unrelenting commitment to consistency that truly changes lives. Pain is inevitable, but suffering is a choice. Life will test you with challenges that seem unbearable. Pain is a universal experience. No one is exempt from its touch. But within that pain lies a choice, to be broken by it or to be strengthened through it. The strongest among us are not those who have avoided pain, but those who have transformed it into power. They have learned that suffering is not a requirement, it is a reaction. While pain is a fact of life, suffering is a state of mind. Think of steel. Before it becomes unbreakable, it must first be forged in fire. It is exposed to intense heat, hammered into shape, and refined through pressure. Your spirit is the same. When you learn to endure the heat of adversity, you emerge stronger, more resilient, and unyielding. The flames that once threatened to consume you become the very force that shapes you. Adversity, when embraced, becomes the forge of strength. To transform pain into power, you must embrace it, learn from it, and let it fuel your determination. Pain is not your enemy. It is your greatest teacher. Every struggle holds within it a lesson. Every hardship is an opportunity to grow stronger. The moments that challenge you the most are the ones that reveal your deepest strength. But this only happens if you choose to see pain for what it is, a stepping stone to greatness, not a stumbling block to defeat. There is a story of a blacksmith who would take raw metal and transform it into swords of great strength. The metal was heated, beaten, and shaped with precision. To the untrained eye, it might seem like destruction, but to the blacksmith, it was creation. The more the metal endured, the stronger it became. So too must you endure the fires of life, knowing that each blow is not meant to destroy you, but to craft you into something stronger. Understand that pain is inevitable, but suffering is a choice. You have the power to decide how you respond. Will you be crushed by the weight of adversity, or will you rise stronger because of it? Those who master this understanding are unbreakable. They walk through the storms of life, not with fear, but with the quiet confidence of one who knows that every struggle is a path to strength. Let pain be your teacher, not your torment. Transform it into power. Embrace its lessons, and know that through the fires of adversity, you are being shaped into something greater than you were before. Persistence is the bridge between desire and achievement. Many dream of success, but few are willing to endure the journey. The truth is, the path to greatness is not defined by how many times you succeed, but by how many times you refuse to give up. Every great achievement in history was built not just on ambition, but on relentless persistence. It is the quiet, unyielding force that drives you forward when the road is rough and the obstacles seem insurmountable. To develop persistence, you must commit to moving forward, no matter the obstacle. The journey will not always be smooth. There will be days of doubt, moments of frustration, and times when the end seems out of reach, but these are the moments that define you. It is easy to move forward when the path is clear and the weather is fair. True strength is found in pushing forward when the road is steep and the storms rage. Persistence is built in the daily decision to try again, to press forward despite the odds. It is waking up with purpose even when progress seems invisible. It is understanding that every step, no matter how small, brings you closer to your vision. Many abandon their dreams because they mistake slow progress for no progress. But persistence is not about speed. It is about endurance. When you feel like giving up, remember this: the only true failure is surrender. Every step you take, every effort you make brings you closer to achievement. Success is not reserved for the most talented or the most gifted. It is reserved for those who are willing to persist when others quit. Build the bridge between desire and achievement with persistence. Keep pushing, keep striving, and keep believing. For the only true failure is surrender. Discipline is the bedrock of true strength. Without discipline, even the grandest ambitions crumble into dust. It is the backbone of achievement, the unyielding force that drives action when motivation fades and the path becomes steep. Discipline is more than mere willpower. It is the commitment to follow through on your goals regardless of how you feel in the moment. Those who master it understand that success is not built in flashes of inspiration, but in the daily grind of consistent effort. To build discipline, you must create rituals that support your goals. Habits are the invisible architecture of your destiny. Wake up with purpose, work with intention, and rest with reflection. It is not enough to dream, you must act. consistently, and deliberately. The disciplined mind understands that waiting for the perfect moment is a mirage. There is only now, only the present moment to act, to move forward, to lay another brick on the foundation of your dreams. Think of a river carving its way through stone, not with a single surge, but through steady, relentless persistence. It does not rush. It does not force. It flows, unyielding and unending. Over time, it shapes mountains, molds valleys, and transforms landscapes. So too must your actions be, small, deliberate, and unceasing. This is the essence of discipline. The difference between those who achieve greatness and those who fall short is not merely talent, it is discipline. Talent may open the door, but discipline keeps you walking through it. It is the ability to keep moving forward even when the world gives you every reason to stop. It is the strength to say no to distractions, no to excuses, and yes to purpose. Discipline is the iron chain that links ambition to achievement, forged one decision at a time. Let discipline be your compass, guiding you toward the life you are destined to create. Do not wait for the right conditions, create them. When you master discipline, you master your destiny. Greatness is not achieved in a single act, but in the accumulation of disciplined actions, repeated daily. Build the habits of greatness, and greatness will follow. Failure is not the end, it is the beginning of growth. Those who fear failure never taste the sweetness of success. Every setback, every stumble is a lesson in disguise. True strength lies not in avoiding failure, but in learning from it. The path to greatness is paved with mistakes, with moments of doubt, and with instances where everything seems to fall apart. Yet it is within these moments that true growth is born. Think of the seed buried in the soil. In darkness, it faces pressure, resistance, and the weight of the earth above it. But rather than succumbing, it pushes through, breaking the surface to reach the light. Its growth is a result of struggle, not ease. So too must you push through the weight of failure, understanding that it is merely the soil from which your strength will grow. To turn failure into feedback, you must learn to ask the right questions. What went wrong? What can be done differently? All of the episode, what lesson does this experience hold? When you see failure as a teacher, it loses its power to paralyze you. It becomes a stepping stone rather than a stumbling block. Those who fear failure avoid challenges. Those who embrace it grow stronger with each attempt. The key to mastering failure is perspective. When you stop seeing it as an endpoint and start viewing it as a learning process, you free yourself from its grip. Failure then becomes a teacher, guiding you toward greater understanding and deeper wisdom. It is not a curse, but a blessing, an opportunity to refine your approach, to strengthen your resolve, and to sharpen your skills. Embrace failure as a tool for growth. Study your mistakes, learn from them, and use them as the foundation for your next attempt. For every failure holds within it the seeds of success. When you master this understanding, you'll become unstoppable. Fear of failure will no longer hold you back because you will know that every misstep is merely a chapter in your journey toward greatness. Failure is not the end. It is the beginning of growth. Change is inevitable. Many crumble under the weight of change because they cling to comfort. But true strength is found in adaptation, in the willingness to evolve and grow as life unfolds. Those who resist change imprison themselves in stagnation, while those who embrace it unlock the door to endless possibilities. Change is not your enemy, it is your ally. It is the force that propels you forward, that demands growth, and that shapes you into something greater. To embrace change, you must release attachment to the way things were. Comfort is seductive, but it is also the enemy of progress. When you hold too tightly to what is familiar, you close yourself off to the opportunities that lie ahead. Welcome new challenges. Learn from new experiences. and understand that growth often requires new paths through stone. Just as the river carves new paths through stone, you must be willing to carve new paths in your life, even if it means leaving the familiar behind. Change is the birthplace of progress. It is the force that transforms a seed into a tree, that turns night into day, and that molds ordinary lives into extraordinary legacies. Those who fear change remain rooted in mediocrity, but those who embrace it discover the power of transformation. Think of the seasons, each one bringing its own trials and its own blessings. The world does not resist the coming of winter, nor does it cling to the warmth of summer. It moves gracefully through each phase, embracing what comes, adapting to the changes, and thriving because of them. This is the essence of strength, not in resisting the winds of change, but in learning to move with them. To master the art of embracing change, you must adopt a mindset of growth. See challenges not as threats, but as opportunities to learn. View obstacles not as barriers, but as stepping stones to greater understanding. When you learn to welcome change, you unlock the door to new possibilities, new strengths, and new achievements. Change is inevitable. Resistance is opposite. Flow with the current of life, and you will find that change is not something to fear, but something to embrace. It is the force that will shape you, strengthen you, and guide you to your greatest potential. Focus is your greatest weapon in a distracted world. The ability to concentrate your energy on a single goal is the mark of true strength. In a world filled with endless distractions, those who master focus hold the keys to achievement. It is not enough to simply want success. You must direct your attention with precision and purpose. When you learn to eliminate distractions and hone your focus, you unlock the power to achieve greatness. Think of a magnifying glass under the sun. Scattered rays are harmless, but when focused through the glass, they become powerful enough to ignite a flame. Your mind is the same. Scattered thoughts achieve nothing, but focused energy moves mountains. Every great achievement in history was born from focus, an unyielding commitment to a singular vision. Those who achieve the impossible do so not because of talent alone, but because of their ability to maintain focus on their purpose. To hornmaster the power of focus, you must learn to say no to distraction. The world is full of noise, constant demands for your attention, endless streams of information, and countless temptations that pull you away from your purpose. To master focus, you must guard your attention with vigilance. You must become intentional about what you allow into your mind. Every moment of distraction is a moment stolen from your dreams. To master focus, you must create an environment that supports it. Eliminate clutter from your workspace, minimize interruptions, and set clear boundaries for your time. Focus is a muscle. It grows stronger with use and withers with neglect. Train yourself to concentrate for longer periods, to shut out the noise, and to channel your energy into productive effort. What you focus on, you create. Direct your thoughts with purpose, and you will find that your actions follow. The mind is a powerful tool. When focused, it can turn dreams into reality, goals into achievements, and visions into legacy. In a distracted world, your greatest weapon is your ability to focus. Master it, and you master life. Strength is found in the courage to risk failure for the hope of success. Too many live their lives imprisoned by fear. Fear of rejection, fear of judgment, fear of loss. But greatness is reserved for those who dare to step beyond their comfort zones. It is the willingness to embrace the unknown, to venture into uncharted territory that separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. True strength is not found in avoiding risk, but in facing it head-on, armed with nothing but faith and determination. Consider the explorer who ventures into unknown territories, not because it is safe, but because it is necessary. His courage is not the absence of fear, but the mastery of it. He understands that fear is merely a companion on the journey, not a force that dictates his path. With each step forward, he carves a new way where none existed before. His journey becomes a testament to the power of courage, a living proof that strength is found in risking failure for the hope of success. To develop courage, you must learn to act in the face of fear. Do not wait for the fear to fade. Walk with it. For every great achievement in history began with someone who was willing to risk the fall to reach the summit. The mountain climber does not gaze at the peak with hesitation. He moves forward, step by step, knowing that every inch gained is progress. His legs may tremble, his hands may shake, but his heart is set on the summit. Strength is not the absence of fear, but the mastery of it. It is found in the decision to take that first step when all logic screams for retreat. It is found in the willingness to stumble, to fall, and to rise again, stronger than before. The path to greatness is paved with moments of uncertainty, but it is only those who dare to walk it who discover the true power of courage. So, risk the fall, embrace the fear, for it is in those moments of uncertainty that you find your greatest strength. The courage to risk failure is the birth of triumph, and the hope of success is the light that guides you forward. Strength is rooted in gratitude. True strength does not come from muscle alone. It does not come merely from persistence or force of will. It comes from the quiet, unseen foundation of the heart. Gratitude. When a person learns to genuinely appreciate what they have, they become invincible in spirit. They may be bruised but never broken, challenged but never defeated. Gratitude is the inner fortress that shelters you in life's fiercest storms. Most people live in a constant state of wanting more money, more recognition, more comfort, more ease. But when your attention is always pulled toward what is missing, you train your mind to see lack rather than abundance. And a mind that sees lack will always feel weak, anxious, and incomplete. Gratitude flips the script. It teaches you to focus on what is, not what is not. It teaches you to look at your current life, as humble or difficult as it may be, and say, "This is enough. I am blessed." Consider the farmer. He wakes before the sun. His hands are calloused, his back often sore. He doesn't labor out of compulsion, but out of quiet thanksgiving. He is grateful for the rain, even when it delays his plans. He is grateful for the sun, even when it scorches. Why? Because he sees potential in every seed. He understands that hardship is not a curse, but a condition of the harvest. His gratitude turns toil into triumph. And so his spirit is never weary, for it is daily renewed by the hope his gratitude gives him. Gratitude, then, is not passive. It is an active strength. It requires intention. It is a muscle of the soul that must be exercised. You cannot simply wish to be grateful. You must train yourself to see beauty in the mundane, to see opportunity in the ordinary, to recognize blessings where others see burdens. Look around you. There is more to be thankful for than you realize. The breath in your lungs, the mind that can think and dream, the eyes that read these words, the people who love you, even imperfectly, the chances you have to begin again. When you start to count these blessings, something miraculous happens. Your problems shrink, your heart expands, and your path becomes clearer. Gratitude doesn't change your circumstances, it changes you. You become calm, centered, focused. You stop reacting and start responding. You stop complaining and start creating. Your energy is no longer wasted on comparison or resentment. It is directed inward, where true power lives. Gratitude clears the fog of frustration and reveals the road ahead. Do not wait for some great moment to be grateful. Practice it now, in this moment. Take inventory of the good, no matter how small. Say thank you aloud. Write it down. Share it with others. For every time you express gratitude, you deepen your roots, and from deep roots, mighty trees grow. Even the scriptures declare, in everything give thanks, not in the easy things only, but in everything. For even pain can refine, even loss can lead, even waiting can strengthen. Gratitude does not deny the struggle, it dignifies it. It does not erase sorrow, it transforms it. Strength built on gratitude endures longer than strength built on pride. Pride crumbles in crisis. Gratitude rises. It says, though I walk through the valley, I am still blessed. And that belief becomes your compass, your shield, your fuel. So I say to you, begin your days with thanks. Let gratitude be your morning ritual, your midday correction, your evening reflection. When the world shakes around you, you will not be moved, because gratitude has anchored you in truth. And what is the truth? That you already have more than enough to begin, that your life even now is fertile ground, that with gratitude you can weather any season, rise from any fall, and build a strength that no storm can take away. Let gratitude become your power, and let that power make you unshakable. Forgiveness is an act of strength, not weakness. There is a common illusion that forgiveness is the act of the weak, that to forgive is to yield, to surrender, to be soft. But I tell you, nothing demands more strength than to look into the face of betrayal, hurt, or injustice and say, I release you. For in that moment, you are not declaring approval of the wrong, you are declaring freedom from its hold. To hold on to anger is to bind yourself to the offender. To nurture resentment is to keep drinking poison, hoping the other suffers. And yet, this is what many do. They wear their pain like armor, believing it protects them. But what it truly does is weigh them down. It robs their peace, their power, their potential. Forgiveness, then, is not a gift to the offender, it is a gift to yourself. It is the decision to no longer let someone else's actions define your thoughts, control your emotions, or limit your future. It is the quiet, powerful act of taking back your strength. Consider the tree in autumn. It does not cling to its dying leaves. It lets go, not because it is weak, but because it understands the cycle of life. Letting go allows renewal. Shedding what no longer serves allows space for something greater. So too must you learn to release the burdens of your past. The wound may have been inflicted without your permission, but the healing, that is your decision. True forgiveness begins not in the other person's remorse, but in your own resolve to rise. Do not wait for apologies that may never come. Do not base your healing on someone else's repentance. The key is in your hands. And when you choose to unlock that cage, you walk out into a life no longer shackled by bitterness. You might ask, but what if they do not deserve my forgiveness? The answer is this: they probably don't. But forgiveness was never meant to be earned. It was meant to be given for your sake. It is not a declaration that what they did was right. It is a decision that you will no longer carry the weight of what they did wrong. To master forgiveness, you must understand its purpose. Liberation, yours, not theirs. When you forgive, you cut the rope that tethers you to the past. You make space for peace to settle where pain once dwelled. You create room for strength to grow where weakness once lingered, and strength does grow, because it takes immense courage to forgive. It takes maturity to choose peace over punishment. It takes vision to see beyond the wound and into the wisdom it leaves behind. Forgiveness is not forgetting. It is remembering without the chains. It is the ability to look back without falling apart, to speak of pain without being ruled by it. It is to say, yes, that hurt me, but no, it will not define me. Let the words of Scripture guide you. Forgive, and you will be forgiven. not as a transaction, but as a law of the Spirit. For what you give, you make room to receive. As you release bitterness, you invite healing. As you let go of hatred, you allow love to return. When you choose forgiveness, you become like the ocean, deep, vast, powerful, capable of holding much, but not clinging to every drop. You learn to rise with the tide of your own inner strength. So I urge you, look within. Who still holds space in your heart through the chains of anger? What pain still echoes in the chambers of your mind? You do not need to forget. You do not even need to reconcile, but you must release. For your sake, for your freedom, and as you do, something miraculous will happen. The weight will lift. The world will feel lighter. Your path will clear, not because the past changed, but because you did. Forgiveness is not the end of strength. It is the beginning of it. Let go and grow stronger than you've ever been. True strength is never utterance. There is a quiet power that walks among us, unseen, often unnoticed, but undeniable. It does not shout. It does not boast. It does not seek the spotlight. This power is humility. And those who possess it carry a strength that no applause, no fame, and no external validation can replicate. For true strength has nothing to prove. It simply is. Arrogance is loud because it is uncertain. It demands recognition because it lacks inner security. The truly strong are not concerned with admiration. They are concerned with impact. They are not busy counting their achievements. They are too occupied in service and growth. Strength, when authentic, bends toward humility like a tree bending toward the sun. Not for approval, but for alignment. Consider the mountain. It towers above valleys, unmovable and vast, yet it remains silent. It does not proclaim its height. It does not remind the world of its stature. It simply exists. Steady, strong, and grounded. This is the nature of humility. It does not compete. It does not compare. It does not need to speak of its greatness because its presence alone speaks volumes. Those who are truly powerful do not inflate themselves. They lift others. They are not afraid to admit when they are wrong, for they do not see mistakes as threats but as teachers. They are not afraid to learn from the lowly, for they know that wisdom wears many disguises. Humility is the soil in which strength takes root. To practice humility, you must first silence the ego. You must be willing to listen, not just to those above you, but especially to those beneath you, beside you, and even those who oppose you. Every voice has a lesson. Every soul has something to offer. When you dismiss people based on their status, you rob yourself of the opportunity to grow. But when you remain open, curious, and respectful, you rise not in pride, but in wisdom. Let your actions define your strength, not your words. Speak less, observe more. Serve without seeking praise. Help without expecting reward. Do the right thing, even when no one is watching. This is how humility is forged. This is how strength becomes sacred. The ancient texts remind us. He who exalts himself will be humbled, and he who humbles himself will be exalted. This is not just spiritual truth. It is a law of life. Arrogance isolates. It builds walls. Humility connects. It builds bridges, and it is through these connections that greatness is multiplied. If you wish to become unshakable, ground yourself in humility. Walk into every room as a student, not a master. Speak to the janitor as you would to the king. Learn from the child as you would from the sage. For the moment you believe you have nothing left to learn, you begin to lose the strength you worked so hard to build. True strength is silent but evident. It is rooted but rising. It is gentle but unyielding. And it is crowned not by glory, but by grace. Let humility be your mountain, vast, grounded, enduring. When you possess it, you will not need to chase recognition. Your life will speak for itself. Remember, The strongest souls are not those who stand tallest, but those who bow deepest in service, in learning, and in love. Choose humility, and you will walk in a strength that the world cannot shake. Strength without action is merely potential. The world is filled with dreamers, people with vision, ambition, and noble intentions. But visions that are never acted upon remain fantasies. Intentions without execution become regret. Strength, when left idle, becomes a burden rather than a blessing. For strength has no value unless it is used. Many possess the potential to do great things. They speak of goals, read of success, and envision a brighter future, but they never move. They wait for better timing, for clearer signs, for perfect conditions. Yet life rewards not those who wait, but those who act. Strength is not proven in your thoughts, it is proven in your steps. Consider the blacksmith. He does not simply dream of forged swords or perfect tools. He takes the raw iron, places it into fire, and begins the laborious work of shaping it, blow after blow, day after day. His vision is the spark, but his strength is in the doing. Each strike of the hammer, each drop of sweat brings him closer to the masterpiece he sees in his mind. And so it is with your life. You may have the strength to build a business, write a book, heal a relationship, or change your destiny, but that strength remains potential until you act. No amount of preparation, knowledge, or talent matters if it is not applied. It is action that builds momentum. It is movement that reveals the path. To master action, you must learn to move, even when the road is not fully visible. Progress is not reserved for those who wait for certainty. It belongs to those who are willing to take the next step in the dark. You do not need to see the entire staircase to climb. You need only to trust the strength in your legs and the vision in your heart. Do not wait for permission. Do not stall for perfection. Perfect conditions rarely arrive. Instead, you must create them by moving forward. Each action you take sharpens your skill, clarifies your direction, and strengthens your resolve. It is through repetition, not contemplation, that greatness is born. There will be fear, there will be setbacks, but action has a way of diminishing fear. The longer you wait, the louder your doubts become. But when you do, fear loses its grip. Clarity comes in motion. Confidence comes in movement. You do not become strong by thinking strong. You become strong by acting strong. The scriptures declare, faith without works is dead. Likewise, strength without action is lifeless. Your power lies not in what you could do, but in what you actually do. The blacksmith does not boast of the tools he might make. He shows them, forged in fire and effort. Let your strength be visible in your daily choices. Wake early, speak truth, build consistently. Begin before you are ready, follow through when it's hard. Let your habits prove your power. Let your results speak for your resolve. Action is the bridge between the invisible and the tangible. It connects who you are to who you can be. It transforms silent dreams into loud results, and the world listens to results. So take the hammer in your hand. Begin the work. Strike, shape, refine. Do not stop until the form matches the vision. Your masterpiece awaits, but only if you act, because strength is not in having the power, it is in using it. The resolve to never give up the true measure of strength is your willingness to continue even when every part of you wants to quit. There will come moments in your life when you feel as if the weight of the world is pressing against your shoulder, when exhaustion seeps into your bones, when your dreams seem too distant, and when giving up feels easier than moving forward. These are the defining moments, the moments when true strength is revealed. Strength is not found in comfort. It is not found in ease. It is discovered in adversity, forged in fire, and proven through perseverance. The journey to greatness is not paved with smooth stones. It is rough, steep, and often lonely. But those who reach the summit are not those who were never tempted to quit. They are the ones who refuse to. Think of the climber ascending the mountain. His muscles tremble, the air grows thin, the path becomes treacherous. And yet, he climbs. Why? Because his strength is not limited to his body, it is rooted in his spirit, his resolve, his unyielding decision to keep moving forward one step at a time. This is the essence of real power. To keep showing up when no one is watching, to keep pushing when there is no applause, and to keep believing when the outcome is uncertain. Strength is not in never falling. It is in rising each and every time you do. To build unyielding resolve, you must first decide that quitting is not an option. Remove it from your vocabulary. Do not entertain it, even in thought. Make persistence your only path forward. When failure comes, and it will, treat it not as defeat, but as a lesson. Stand up, adjust, advance. Every setback is a test of your commitment. Every delay is a chance to double your focus. And every fall is an invitation to rise with greater wisdom and renewed fire. Let nothing, not fatigue, not fear, not frustration, stop your progress. Let every obstacle become fuel. The scriptures remind us, let us not grow weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. This is not mere inspiration, it is instruction. Press on, stay the course. Victory belongs to those who endure. So when your heart grows heavy and your will begins to waver, remember the summit is still ahead, and each step brings you closer. Keep moving, keep believing, keep rising. For the true measure of your strength is not in how long you stand tall, but in how many times you choose to rise from the ground. In every challenge lies a choice, to rise or retreat. Choose strength. Commit to mastering your mind. Carry this message with you and remind yourself daily, you were built to endure. Let this be your turning point. Hold the line, stay grounded, and never forget, unshakable strength begins with a single decision.